prairie, on the ocean. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her from the mountains through the prairies. Nice. Anything behind me I want to move? Contact solution. Contact case. Here's my constitution. Oh. Here's my constitution. The Constitution of the United States of America. Long time no see. How's it going? Why can I not see actual names? The chat is still like that. You guys can see actual names, right? Or do you see the ats of people's names? Trash. I guess I'll throw TikTok up. You see ats too. Can I fix that somewhere? Why is my YouTube chat section at instead of their name? Oh, it's a new thing from YouTube. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. How's it going, guys? Long time no see. True. Meld. Okay. Trump war, Venezuela. Trump war, Venezuela. Oh yeah, no new wars. No new wars. We have all the wars we need. Elect the pro-peace president, Donald Trump. Hi, how's it going? Make sure you drop a like on the stream. 4 likes. Make sure you drop a like. Need to cover this Donald Trump. I'm going to get the press conference up first. Okay, let's see. Trump press conference. How long was it today? An hour? When does he speak? Oh, it will begin shortly. Okay. I'll get this ready. I need like a half hour to an hour to go through the topics at hand. And then I will take calls. So if you see someone in chat trying to call in, or if you want to give updates throughout this, I want to hit a few points here. Then I can take some phone calls, but I want to make sure I get through. I want to make sure I can make the key points I want to make here. Okay. So Trump bombed Venezuela and arrested Maduro last night or this morning. Be very aware of PSYOP campaigns. This Nick Shirley guy, he's famous right now for his propaganda against Somalis in Minnesota. And now he's sharing videos saying the MSM media lied to us again. The people of Venezuela actually did not like being ruled by a narco-terrorist. They're super happy about the war that's happening in their country. By the way, even if they are angry at Maduro and they want Maduro out of power, they would not be cheering when there's bombs being dropped all around them. But this video that this propagandist asshole shared is from Miami. It's not even from Venezuela. So remember, don't trust anything these people say. But yeah, so Trump is saying a lot of crazy things. He said Trump has said that nobody can stop America. We need to do this again. He's excited about doing this again. Right here, Trump said this.
But we can't take a chance after having done this incredible thing last night of letting somebody else take over, where we have to do it again. We can do it again too. Nobody can stop us.
Yeah, nobody can stop us. And they're talking about they have warned Mexico, Cuba, Colombia, Greenland. They have warned these countries to be on, alert. They made a 6-7 joke in the press conference. Super funny. Trump was falling asleep the entire time. Trump did not even leave his golf course for this huge event. He did not leave the golf course. He made them come to him. And at this golf course, this new situation room they set up, they had Exxon in the background with Venezuela typed in for live reactions. If you want to know how ridiculous and stupid this is. And yeah, they think it's hilarious. They're putting up replies to Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders actually cares about America, but they put up, I ain't reading all that. I'm happy for you though, or sorry that happened. It's all a joke to them. These people are evil. They are evil. Remember that going in. He's using songs that are about, that are anti-war songs to justify this war in Venezuela. And remember in this press conference, they view the world as, if you are a big, strong country, you should be able to dominate smaller countries. If you're a big country, there should be no international law. They want to just be able to take control of Venezuela, Cuba, every country in our hemisphere. And this is something that's going to give credence to China when they want to take Taiwan. And this is why much of MAGA does not care about supporting Ukraine, because they think, Russia's a big country. Who really cares? Let Russia take Ukraine. Might equals right. Peace through strength, as they say. There's a lot of other points to hit on, but I want to get to Trump.
We appreciate you being here.
Oh, yeah. Also, a good distraction from the Epstein files. But yeah, you cannot survive with a president doing such illegal things with no repercussion politically or legally. This is not going to be good. Anybody cheering this on right now, write their names down. Keep a record of who's cheering this on, who thinks it's a good thing. Because I promise you, this stuff never turns out good. Regime change. No more wars, guys. No new wars.
Today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American.
I believe a few dozen civilians died in the airstrikes they did on the Venezuelan capital, on one of their air bases. That was hit. A few other places were hit. Like a grave to Hugo Chavez was hit, which is just like a FU to the country. Pretty much not significant for a military target. But yeah, I think 40 plus people confirmed dead so far.
Military power, air, land, and sea was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress.
Whatever that means.
In the heart
Whatever
of
it
Caracas,
means.
to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones, like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on Albania.
And Trump has shown himself to be jealous of Putin and Xi Jinping and all these other dictators. He's jealous that Putin is going after Ukraine. Trump only wants to support Ukraine to be a big boy against Putin. So right now, Trump views himself as big and strong. There are some people after World War II, we set up a system with NATO, and we set up this rule-based order around the world where there's going to be international law. We're going to do our best to apply that law and to support that law. America must lead it, being the strongest country. And that order has caused the last 80 years to be some of the least violent in human history. Although there were wars, definitely wars, but some of the least violent in human history. We kept it to a minimum. But these people are against that order altogether. And it really feeds into Russia and China, what they want to do. Although Venezuela could be a partner to Russia and China at times, I think this overall supports their mission.
Baghdadi and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recent.
I mean, Trump just said he'll strike Iran again. He literally said we'll strike Iran again for Israel using missiles as justification. And he basically said, oh, the nuclear sites are not wiped out. So many lies, bro.
In an operation known as Midnight Hammer, all perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York, Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank
Deadly narco-terrorism. So they are making the argument that they can charge Maduro and his wife, I guess, charging Maduro with U.S. law, and therefore they can go into Venezuela and arrest Maduro. And because there were U.S. personnel arresting Maduro in Venezuela, that gave authorization for the Trump admin to bomb the shit out of Venezuela to protect the American personnel from harm or retribution when they were arresting Maduro. So under their logic, they can charge any world leader anywhere with crimes internal to America. And they can they can invade any country and bomb, anybody nearby to the U.S. forces. We can just say, Putin, we can say Putin is violating U.S. law. And now, with U.S. military law and the Constitution, we can just bomb anybody we want on our way to go pick them up, pretty much. That's their argument. It's a brain dead argument. It's really bad, really dangerous. And the fact that Trump wants to keep on doing this stuff, he's excited to keep on doing more bombings and topple more regimes. Not looking good.
Thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, like never before. These highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in what's called a ready position.
Yeah, they came willingly. It was not like
overwhelmed, and
it was not a difficult operation.
Very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far, with capabilities.
Someone said Trump rescued Venezuela from a dictator who employed drug cartel. The entire government is still in place. The hand-picked vice president that Maduro picked is still in charge of the country. Nothing has changed as far as Venezuela's government so far.
Skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment like what we have. And you see that even if you just look at the boats. We've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills on average, 25,000 people. We knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious.
We're going to run the country.
We don't want to be involved with
America's going to run the country.
Get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela, and that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
Okay, so point number one, we want to make more money, and we will be fully funded in this operation because we're going to build up their oil capability. So that's one point Trump has made as an argument to do this and to occupy Venezuela, which is super fun. I'm mad a dictator was taken out of power. No, I'm mad the U.S. president is violating laws, doing illegal activities, sending random people to concentration camps, like he did with the Alien Enemies Act, with Venezuelan asylum seekers at the beginning of the presidency. And now Trump wants to topple regimes and violate the sovereignty of multiple countries, including Cuba, Colombia, Mexico, and bomb them without any consent from those countries. And that environment is ripe for collapse of Central America, of South America, the north of South America. And none of that is going to be good for any of us. Okay. None of that is going to be good for any of us. We have toppled dictators in the Middle East for a very long time. You idiots would be cheering along to us toppling Saddam. Like, oh, we finally have peace in the region. One dictator is gone. Now we're just going to cycle through more dictators and more instability. Some regions are just screwed up. Okay. They're not going to be healed just by taking someone out of power, especially when the regime currently in place for America, the Trump regime, is making 6-7 jokes at the press conference, and they have zero plan for how to actually do a regime change.
And we are.
And by the way, all you cucks who voted for Trump saying no more wars, no more regime change, no more boots on the ground. Trump literally said, we will put boots on the ground. We are open to boots on the ground in Venezuela. All you people who voted on this, you are liars. You're liars.
Ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave.
Someone said, notice how the streets of Venezuela is a party. Right now in Venezuela, there are people who are in food lines trying to make sure they have enough food for a possible all-out war in Venezuela. They were just bombed last night. They are not partying. They just got bombed. A couple dozen Venezuelan citizens just got murdered. Okay. Last night. They're not partying. All the videos you're seeing are from Chile, or they're from Miami, or they're from other areas, but you're too stupid and you're too much of a loser with no backbone, no care for any principle. You don't care if you're looking at real things. You probably love clapping along like a dumbass seal to AI slop. There is no partying happening in Venezuela. They just got bombed. Like, you people are so brain poisoned from your algorithms. Please drop a like. We have 14 likes. If we get more likes, I'll take some phone calls.
Would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually. This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe.
Yeah, it's all a game to them. Like putting up another post of purple walked from official government accounts. Oh, so cool, bro. Purple walked. It's all about a show of force. That's why the entire government is still intact. And that's why it was so painless to get him out of there, because they weren't really resisting him. Maduro said they'll do anything they want. Maduro entered the DEA headquarters in Manhattan, and he says, "Good night, Happy New Year." Like, it's all for show. Trump just pardoned the former dictator of Honduras, who literally said that he wants to stuff cocaine down the noses of millions of Americans. Someone who brought 500,000 pounds of cocaine into America, a drug trafficker who wanted to target Americans directly. Trump gave him a pardon, probably because he's going to help Trump make more money with his crypto. But still, Trump is pardoning these so-called narco terrorists. So everything they do, you have to view through the lens of corruption and power and domination, because they are going to talk out both sides of their mouths, of their assholes. They're going to shoot in every direction. They'll pardon drug dealers, then they'll say, after giving a pardon to the former president of Honduras, they'll say, "Oh, well, these are narco terrorists on these boats that they blew up. All these boats they blew up." The only substance they could find on those, because fentanyl is not made in Venezuela, it does not come from Venezuela. The only substance they found on these boats was marijuana. The actual evidence was we killed random people in boats over marijuana transportation from like Venezuela to Colombia and other countries down there. Not even boats coming to America. All of it's a lie.
And it will also.
But you people don't wait for evidence because you're 12. You're 12. You don't wait for evidence. Evidence will kill you. You hate it.
Happy. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore. The illegitimate dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solas, which flooded our nation with lethal poison, responsible for the deaths of countless Americans, many, many Americans. Hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of him. Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship. They'll be heading to, ultimately, New York, and then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida. But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law. And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take place. For many years after his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence, terror, and subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only.
Well, Trump said they brought fentanyl to America, which is still a really low IQ premise for bombing people. But yeah, the boats could have marijuana and cocaine on them. But Trump pardoned a drug kingpin who targeted Americans, and I see none of MAGA mad about it, right? No Trump supporter will be mad about that.
Only our people, but the stability of the entire region. And you all saw it. In addition to trafficking gigantic amounts of illegal drugs that inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over in particular the United States, Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide. And he did indeed. They were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes. They cut the fingers off people if they called police. They were brutal, but they're not so brutal now. And I just have to congratulate our military, Pete, and everybody, and our National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's in Washington, D.C., where we have a totally safe city, where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly, and now we have no crime in Washington, D.C. We haven't had a killing. We had the terrorist attack a few weeks ago. A little bit of a different kind of a...
Bro, Maduro does not care about any of this. Like, his thumbs are in the air with his cuffs on. Like, bro, what's going on, bro? He seems like he is on, like, happy pills, bro. Like, he is chilling.
But we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have two, on average, 2 a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore. The restaurants are opening. Everyone's happy. They're walking their daughters. They're walking their children, their wives. They walk to restaurants. Restaurants are opening all over Washington, D.C. So I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank our military. And I want to thank law enforcement. It's been amazing. And they should do it with more cities. We're doing it, as you know, and we're doing it in Memphis, Tennessee right now, and crime is down. We've just sort of started a few weeks ago. But
yeah, they got Maduro with zero stress whatsoever, zero pain, other than killing a few dozen Venezuelan civilians and a few more dozen Venezuelan military personnel in their airstrikes. Maduro seems to be in a good spirit for whatever reason. It's all a big game to them. It's all a big game. That's why they're making fun of it. But yeah, it's all for likes and whatever. It's all for it's all fun. It's super fun. Every single claim about Venezuela being a threat to American sovereignty is complete bullshit. 100% bullshit. Every single fact falls down on its face. It's all completely fake. They called fentanyl a WMD. And remember, fentanyl does not even come from Venezuela, but they still call drugs a WMD. The same conservatives that don't believe drugs are a disease and drugs can kill someone, they blame drug addicts for taking drugs and dying. Those same people now think if you bring drugs to America, you're a mass murderer. The drugs don't kill people.
It's down now 77%. And the governor of Louisiana called, great person, and he wanted us to help him, as you know, in a certain very nice part of Louisiana. And we have done that. It was a rough section, and we have crime down. I understand it's down to almost nothing already after 2.5 weeks. New Orleans, it's down to almost nothing, and we've only been there for 2.5 weeks. Can't imagine why governors wouldn't want us to help. We also helped, as you know, in Chicago, and crime went down a little bit there. We did a very small help because we had no working ability with the governor. The governor was a disaster, and the mayor was a disaster. But it knocked down crime. But we're pulling out of there when they need us. We'll know. You'll know. You'll be writing about it.
We have phone calls waiting. Here, I'll call you back. Here, I'll call you back. Yes.
Hello?
Hi, this is the YouTube show you called into. This is Joel Law Politics. What's up?
Yeah, appreciate you calling me back.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Jeff Stages is my name.
Nice to meet you, Jeff.
I'm about 52 years old. And I wanted to, not confront you, but, debate some questions about Donald Trump.
Yeah, sure. About Venezuela or about what?
Venezuela. We can start there.
Yeah, you can go whatever direction you want.
Yeah, let's talk Venezuela. Venezuela, well, they've been ruled by a dictator. Trump's obviously wanting a medal. He's wanting that. Was it the Nobel Peace Prize?
Mm-hmm.
Some say to match. It seems like a lot of things have been said lately have been to match Obama's career in the office. And so, I think he's just trying to do something to keep the drugs from circulating inside the country. And, trying to pay for it by, getting something for us. Getting some oil. Yeah, the oil will pay for it.
But no fentanyl comes from Venezuela to America.
Well, but Venezuela has a lot to do with the transportation. So it's
even if
made,
so, and there's zero proof of that happening. None of these boats have any proof of carrying fentanyl. We have no proof whatsoever. Yeah. We've had survivors. We've sent them back home, or we've just killed them and double tapped them. They do not want anybody to speak or be brought back to America from these boats they blow up, probably because they know they're lying about the nature of who they're striking. So, like, if we have the U.S. government calling fentanyl WMDs and calling drug dealers, narco terrorists, and now we can, because of that, violate sovereign nations and steal their head of state based off of U.S. laws we charge them with, and now Trump wants to do that with a bunch of other countries. It seems like this is about a power thing, ideological thing, a domination thing. Trump wants to be like Putin or like Xi Jinping. He wants to be able to say he's big and strong. He can take over territory and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I kind of agree on some points, but okay, we know Putin. Putin wants power. Okay, he wants that Eastern Bloc to build his navy. Okay, that's it, and to run his pipeline. Finish his pipeline or whatever. He's running through Bulgaria already. Bulgaria turned it off. Okay. And so I don't know where it's going from this point. You may know, I don't. But that's their primary import or export, excuse me, is oil and gas, right?
Yeah, I mean, they want the minerals and the oil on the eastern part of Ukraine. They have, for propaganda purposes and for Putin's legacy, he wants to establish or reestablish parts of the former Soviet Union. He views Ukraine and countries like Georgia as part of Russia already, and or as client states. That's the big threat with Ukraine joining NATO. They want to lie and say it's about nukes, but it makes no sense for that justification. But yeah, there's a bunch of different reasons. It could be for oil. It can be for ideological reasons. It could be for pipelines, trade routes. It could be for rare earth minerals, especially right now, with Trump wanting to do the Monroe Doctrine, which was initially made to make sure Europe did not colonize anything else, so America would own everything on this side of the world. Now Trump calls it the Donroe Doctrine, which is stupid. But the best interpretation is that well, basically, it's like America has the right to dominate all these countries if they're smaller than us. We control our hemisphere. We control North America, maybe South America, depending how far down we want to go. It's part of us controlling. When Trump says he wants to take the Panama Canal, before, historically, it was to reject Europe's presence. But now the argument is we should be taking over Venezuela and Panama and Colombia and Cuba to reject China's presence. It's kind of like a new Cold War in a sense. It's pretty similar. We're in a new Cold War with China and with Russia a little bit. It's really,
Yeah, we're definitely, China's the next Russia. But yeah, I agree. They're with you. But you're welcome. Thank you. Excuse me. The thing I disagree with you is that it may not be as bad as what you think it is. We did make a pact that we wouldn't put any bases or nukes anywhere on the Eastern Bloc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and I think that includes Bulgaria, Romania, anything on the Black Sea. Okay, and maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know the facts there exactly, but he's not waging war in Romania and Bulgaria.
Yeah, but okay, here's the biggest thing I'm focusing on right now is Trump violating laws, U.S. laws, both domestically and in foreign policy, and he's using foreign policy to violate domestic laws. The big thing Trump began this presidency with is one of the greatest crimes America has done in our modern history, ripping these Venezuelan asylum seekers and sending them to this torture dungeon in El Salvador with no due process. The Supreme Court, which is very on Trump's side, ruled 9-0 that Trump violated the Constitution, sending them to El Salvador, to CCOT, and they were brutally tortured, put in tiny spaces. There was one gay hairdresser that was abused and sexually assaulted. There were soccer coaches and professional soccer players we sent there based off of random tattoos. And it was a 9-0 ruling that Trump was 9-0 ruling that Trump was in the wrong here. And this is something the administration brags about. And these were Venezuelans who fled Venezuela and were seeking asylum, a legal asylum path in America, and we sent them to be tortured. And no American even focused on that topic. And now we're going to be bombing Venezuela and bombing all these different countries and trying to justify all of this with the use of the word narco terrorist, and they want to call all liberals in America Antifa and domestic terrorists. And this executive overreach without any Congress that wants to rein it in is going to come to bite our asses. Like eventually, you cannot let a lawless regime like this with Trump do all these illegal actions and just do all this catastrophe and have no repercussions, even if it's just like there's going to be. You have to understand why people then become terrorists. Why would you not hate America if America is just going to go blaze through your country and bomb, all these different countries across the world? Of course, there's groups of Somalians in Somalia that hate, or Somalis in Somalia that hate us, or in Venezuela, or in the Middle East. Like, if America's not going to follow any laws, if we're just going to be torturing people, blowing shit up, and laughing at them like Trump did today, we can't be surprised when countries hate us and people hate us, across the globe.
Yeah, that is true. I can understand your point. But still, I mean, he does have a right to protect.
But okay, here's my main question. My main overall question before I go to another caller is, what was Venezuela and Maduro's threat to American sovereignty that justified Trump using extraordinary military power?
Colombia, Mexico, they're making the drugs.
But
Venezuela,
the drugs alone are not the issue, though, right?
They couldn't. Yeah, but they had to divert from Colombia and Mexico because that was the expected. Okay, so Venezuela came in and said, "We can do it, and we can do it for you. Pay us. We'll do it." And I understand, but do we have the legal right to police the country or to police the entire world? I think we do. I think we've established that. I think we've been doing it for almost a century now.
Yeah, but that's why Trump won. Trump won saying we should not be policing the world. We shouldn't do all these pointless wars. Like, many Trump supporters I know supported him because he's pro-peace. He ran as the pro-peace ticket. They said that Kamala and Liz Cheney were going to start all these different wars. And now Trump is the only new war America's really started in the past since Iraq and Afghanistan and other areas in Syria and other areas that we've established footholds in across the world. It's just, I don't know if Trump supporters on a broad scale believe anything at this point. And when people say, cocaine and marijuana and fentanyl, although fentanyl is not coming from Venezuela, are imminent threats to American national security and American sovereignty. And that's why the president can use these powers to just invade countries and take control of them. It's, I think any American should be afraid of. I'd be saying this if it was Obama or whoever.
Well,
I appreciate the call. I'll give you a final word here.
In the freaking group of them. I mean, you might as well send them heroin. But anyway, heroin would be less of a drug than fentanyl. Fentanyl actually it inhibits, it activates its own elimination.
Yeah, but that comes from China. It comes from China. Can we bomb Chinese boats?
Still, yeah, we should. We should.
So we should start World War III over fentanyl.
China, we start in China.
So we should start World War III. We should start World War III, though, is what you're saying.
We have to. Somebody's got to stop it. Because, it's going to end up that way whether you like it as a liberal or I like it as a conservative.
I think World War III is bad, though. I feel like there's other ways to resolve these issues other than doing World War III.
But you've got two superpowers who want the ultimate ticket.
But we could beat them through influence.
To be the one who runs the whole world. Okay, so China wants to be that person. That's why they've been copying everything we do. That's why they're sending their students here to our greatest colleges, Harvard.
But you're saying World War III. We should do World War III over fentanyl.
Yale. They're sending.
But that's the big issue is people hear that and they're like, no, World War III is bad. World War III is bad, right?
Let me finish. Okay, they're sending their students here okay, to learn
Yeah.
and go back
Okay.
and basically teach their population how to conquer us. Okay,
We
that's
do
what's
the
going
same
on
thing to other
right
countries,
now.
but
I
that's not
talked
about
to
World
a
War III.
woman who confirmed this at the playground while my son was playing. She said her husband was at Duke, and they had sent her husband to Duke from China. They were paying his way and everything.
Are you saying
And
that
all he
Chinese
had to
spies
do
will
was
tell you
go
their
back.
secrets if
No,
you meet
let
them
me
at the
finish.
playground?
Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Okay. All he had to do was go back to China and teach for 2 years. That was, and it was paid for. And then he could go
Hey,
wherever
I think
he
World War
wanted.
II is bad.
Okay.
I think it's
But,
bad. I think
no,
we should be winning.
listen
Okay,
to
have a
this.
good night.
We
No,
are
it's my show.
financing.
Okay, have a good night. Someone else call in. I see someone else trying to call in. No, we were going to talk about apparently the Chinese spies. Just go play with, go to a playground. They'll just tell you the secrets apparently. I learned all the secrets from the woman at the playground. They just
Hello.
Hi, this is the YouTube stream. Jola Politics, how are you?
I got a question for you. Do you have a regular job?
Yeah.
So you just hang on to Trump's coattails, bashing him to make extra money?
No, I care about this country.
You really don't. I've been listening to you for a month now.
I do care about this country.
No, you really don't. You care about making the money, having your clickbait.
I barely make
and
any money
being a
on here.
liberal
By the way,
douchebag.
anybody who wants to donate, Jola Politics, Cash App and Venmo, donate, please.
Don't donate. If you donate
love
to
being
him,
a
you're
liberal
enabling
douchebag.
communism.
Oh, no, not communism. No.
You are a whiny little
Everybody
bitch.
gets
Your
free
father's probably
healthcare.
so disappointed that he raised a whiny little bitch.
Yes. Disappointment is my number one. That's my middle name, actually.
You are. You are a disappointment to this country.
I am. Thank you.
Yeah, you really are. And I want to ask
I
you
appreciate
this.
that.
How do we know that fentanyl wasn't being sent to Venezuela from China? Do you know that 100%? No,
Our
you
drug
don't.
agencies would probably tell us if we knew that. We should probably not kill them.
So you don't know.
We should not blow up the boats. We should just go.
Being shipped to Venezuela
we should go take control of the boats and look through it.
You have no
Our
idea.
government could provide any proof.
You're talking out your ass like you're accusing every
Yeah,
conservative
every piece of
You are talking out your ass because you know
Sweetheart, don't
shit.
talk over me, sweetheart. Okay,
Don't
so
you
every
fucking call me sweetheart,
every
you little
piece
bitch.
of known evidence
Bitch,
says there is no fentanyl
bitch,
coming
bitch.
from Venezuela.
You're a bitch.
But
You're a
you're 12,
bitch. You're
so
a
you can't
fucking
handle
bitch.
it. I am.
You
I'm
don't know
proudly.
shit.
Yes, you're proving
You just bash Trump.
what a bitch is.
That's all you do.
No, I don't bash Trump. I bash all corruption.
Oh, bullshit.
Yes, I do.
You and the whole Democratic Party are corrupt.
I am the whole Democratic Party. It's only me.
And you're proving you're corrupt.
You have JDS. You have Joel derangement syndrome. You got to chill out.
You have dumbass syndrome.
You got me.
And get
You got me.
information from other places besides from the Democratic National
You got
Party.
me. I'm not coming back from that, bro.
Reagan
You
said
have
it
dumbass
best.
syndrome.
Don't fall into their trap.
You have
Democrats
dumbass
are full
syndrome,
of crap.
dude.
Yeah, you are full of shit. You don't know
dumbass
anything.
syndrome,
You
dude.
don't do your research. You just
Oh,
drink
what research
the
did I
liberal
get
fucking
wrong?
Kool-Aid.
What research did I get wrong?
You admitted that
Yeah.
you have zero idea if fentanyl was coming into China to Venezuela to be dispersed.
No, I'm
admitted
saying
you
there's
have
no
idea.
evidence. I'm saying there's no evidence. That's different from no idea.
Is there proof of it either?
Proof of what? Proof of
There's
something
no
that's
proof.
not happening?
There's no proof
I
it
can't
happened.
prove-
There's no proof it wasn't
I
happening.
can only prove there's
But
no
you're
evidence it's
saying
happening,
that
right?
it's only coming out of China
No,
when you have no
think about
idea.
it. Think about it. We can
You
prove.
have no idea.
We can prove where fentanyl is coming from,
idea.
right?
You just said there isn't proof
I'm
either
not going
way.
off of my experience. I'm going off of our
You
agencies.
just fucking said there's no
No,
proof
I
either
said
way.
there is proof that there is no proof of fentanyl coming. There's no evidence of it coming from Venezuela as a supplier. It's China and Mexico and through shipping ports. more than Venezuela. There's nothing
There's
from
no
Venezuela.
proof either way. There is
If we're
zero
talking
proof
about
that says that
Venezuela, why are we
wasn't a
not targeting
distribution
China
hub.
then? If fentanyl is a WMD that's going to destroy America, why are we targeting Venezuela and not China
had a drug
and not
dealer,
Mexico?
drug
Why are
trafficker
we not
wanted by the
targeting
United
China?
States as a head of the country.
Well,
we went in to
apparently,
capture
well,
a
no,
fugitive.
okay. If all the fentanyl comes from China, why are we not striking China if fentanyl's the big issue?
You must be on some really good fentanyl.
Answer my question. Answer my question. Come on. Come up to my level. Answer my question a little bit. You can, if you want to strain your neck, you can look right in the sky. You can see my, see my head a little bit.
How about you get your freaking face out of my nuts and look me in the eyes instead of being a little fat?
No, answer my question. Hey, calm down, sweetheart. Please answer my question.
Fuck
you can do
you,
it.
pussy ass bitch.
You can answer my question. Yeah, he can't answer a question. And that's why Trump supporters, they need to believe nothing but lies. That guy right there is every Trump supporter. If you ask them a question directly, like, hey, if you think fentanyl is a WMD destroying American sovereignty and it's going to collapse America, and Venezuela, let's say you can prove that China uses Venezuela to get fentanyl into America, which we don't have good proof for that. Okay. Even if you could prove that, wouldn't you attack the source? If fentanyl is the biggest issue for mankind, fentanyl is a little atomic bomb in a mixed drug. All right. In a needle. All right. We should probably be going after China then by their logic, but they cannot answer a question with logic in it. You see that, guys? You see it? Please drop a like, comment, subscribe, become a channel member. Please donate to Drolla Politics on Cash App or Venmo. It's the same as my YouTube name. I'm trying to get my Canva Pro back for a year. I need $100 for that, so I could edit my thumbnails. So if I could edit my thumbnails, my goal is $100 for that. So thank you for watching. We'll take another phone call. Please subscribe. We have 65 likes. Okay. Can we get to 100 likes if we try hard enough?
Your call has been forwarded to an automated.
You are a Somalian. You love fraud. Yes. I believe you. Your
call has been forwarded.
Okay, that guy's. Can you stop calling?
Your call.
Bro, if you keep spamming me, I can't call you back.
Your call.
All right, you lost your chance. Good job. Hello, what's up?
How you doing, man? Hey, I just saw your last guy, and he's a little crazy, but I just wanted to, I'll call and ask real quick. So, what do you feel about American imperialism? So, like, how do you feel about, the idea that we can be an empire, the whole idea skeptical that America should be an empire, and kind of protecting our region of the world and our sphere of influence?
This is probably one reason why I would be very apart from like socialists, for example, because I do think America should be competing for influence, but I prefer America do it in a compatible way with these different, in a mutualistic way with different nations where we do. And I know we have done things with USAID that's really bad. But the good parts of it, so helping disease prevention, helping build out trade routes, helping build agriculture and farming in places like Guatemala, making sure there's less crop shortage and crop failure in these different countries, and then using that to get American influence or businesses there. I'm very for that. I think we need to compete in that realm because China is pretty effective in that area, and I want to avoid war. And I think the only way to avoid war is to make diplomatic agreements, multilateral trade agreements, multilateral defense agreements, all that kind of stuff. So I would prefer the route of like Obama with the Iran nuclear deal. I'm for America participating in that way, but I'm very against like Trump just randomly bombing countries for funsies because they don't want to do things, a more surgical, a more effective, pragmatic way, as I would prefer, if that makes sense. But I am against America doing unfair things to countries if we can help it.
I do agree in that aspect, actually, because there's a lot of things that we've done in the past against countries that don't need to happen. But I think what some people fail to kind of understand is that this is our sphere of influence. Like, this is literally our backyard. Venezuela might not have been the big bad enemy that Trump did kind of showboat about, but the thing is that Venezuela was going to be the easy entrance into South America, Central America for both Russia, China, and actually Iran too. Now, we all know that they were probably not going to be there for at least the next couple of years, especially once the Belt and Road Initiative was signed by China, which they were just there yesterday with the emissaries meeting and talking about the whole deal. Now, I don't agree with the whole bombing and kidnapping Maduro thing. However, I do understand that we should take him alive, and we did, and now we can negotiate on our terms. And it is better than going out and just assassinating a leader of another country, and basically turning the whole region into turmoil because now they got no leader, and it turns into a whole other
Yeah,
show.
I think this will be worse for American influence in the long haul, unless if they just stop and I don't know, try to force the current government to do things that are in line with America. But like Trump has said "F you" to Canada. Trump today has sent a warning to Mexico, has sent a warning to Cuba and Colombia for them being next. And I'm pretty sure they were designing airstrikes for cartels with or without Mexico's consent for a while now. So when Trump is saying "F you" to all of our allies, to all of these different countries, when there were programs that Biden was doing, and the Guatemala thing is a good example, where we were helping them build up their agriculture and their ability to farm and provide. I think we're helping them with like pea farming or something, but to grow food there, because that would help with our migrant issue, with our immigration border crisis as well. All those programs were completely cut out. So now we had a lot of development programs in Central America, in South America, and those are all completely gone. And it's being replaced now with Trump's pure domination fantasy. So like it's just, you can take a tool that works for the job, but if you have an idiot swinging that hammer, he's just going to put a bunch of holes in the wall. Even though like many politicians right now, all the never Trump Republicans, by the way, all the never Trump Republicans are in love today. They love this move. Adam Kinzinger, he is 100% on board. He thinks Trump is amazing for this, and he hates Trump, right? Like Trump is hard target. Do you know who that is?
Wait, sorry, say one last part.
Adam, how's his last name spelled? Adam Kinzinger. Kinzinger. Adam Kinzinger. He was like a never Trump Republican, former U.S. State representative, but a bunch of like neocon types and never Trump Republicans. Like Dick Cheney would be so happy right now. Like Dick Cheney is happy right now in his grave. And you have like that neocon base happy, but you have this extremely destructive regime in charge that's not even pro-America, that's just pro-corruption and domination. So I just have zero expectation that this can ever be a positive thing with this administration.
I think me and you can come and agree on this part, right? Currently, the way Trump is doing things probably might not be the best in the long haul, right? That's if he stayed in for a third term, as of course he wants to, right? I did vote for Trump. However, I'm kind of a realist where compared to other Republicans that were running, everyone was kind of not the best, right? Trump wasn't the best either, but he was the better of what we had, in my opinion, right? Now, the next person that succeeds him, if Trump does this right, we might have a somewhat stable Venezuela. And if it shows that we can somewhat nation build, kind of the way we did with Japan after World War II, right? If we can nation build Venezuela in our sphere that show, hey, we can do this, you guys can be successful, but you have to do it this way, not get rid of a leader, topple the dictatorship, put someone else in charge immediately, and then have another 20 or 30 years of even more corruption than what we had now, right? So I see this maybe down the road it could work, but of course we're not going to see immediate change.
But Japan, that stuff only worked after we purely decimated these countries. Venezuela is a pretty big country. We need a lot of friends globally for that kind of stuff to work. And we need a regime that has any interest in doing anything good whatsoever in America. Like this Trump administration, Trump himself rants every day about how he does an IQ test where there's an elephant, a giraffe, and a panda or something. And he brags about picking which one is the giraffe correctly. And he says that shows his extremely high IQ. This guy is a lunatic. He just said that Russia wants the best for Ukraine. Russia cares about Ukraine and Russia loves Ukraine and Russia wants Ukraine to prosper. He said he's gone. He is a brain. Like you cannot have a leader like this. And we have like Hegseth with really weird interests. We have Rubio with really weird interests. Rubio is probably steering the whole ship right now. with Venezuela. But yeah, there's not good intentions. There's no goodwill. I think time will tell that this is going to be pretty destructive. And even if you think it's a good idea, this government cannot do anything correctly. Even the bad stuff, even covering up the Epstein files, they failed. Pam Bondi sucks. Even Trump's trying to go after political opponents. He's doing everything he can to direct the DOJ to just target his enemies. They suck at everything. The only thing they're good at is just like blowing things up and abducting immigrants with ICE agents. So yeah, I have no confidence they can do anything productive. They can only tear things down and blow shit up. There's nothing in this core group of people that can do anything good. And I mean, maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I have not seen one situation where they entered themselves and it came out better on the other end. And now Trump's talking about boots on the ground in Venezuela and Iran and bombing Iran for Israel based on Iran's not nuclear capacity, based on their missile capacity. So now more excuses to do that. It's just like Trump does things based off of loyalty and based off of kind words and gifts. Like Kamala was very correct that Trump's intel report reads, all you got to do is flatter him. Look at Zoran Mamdani. Mamdani went in there. Trump loves him now because he was able to flatter him. So yeah, unstable. Unstable leadership, man. I don't think it can work. But I'll give you the final word.
I'm just hoping that really all this comes to an end. I know the whole topic right now is about what happened last night with Venezuela. I mean, I'm sure you, myself, everybody else in the country hopes that whatever happens next with them, it is in the best interest of both them and us, hopefully for the long run. And just hopefully that if things go the right way, we don't see another China, Russia trying to put their own forces, their own influence in here, and maybe this might lead to some good in the future. I mean, like I said, only time will tell, and hopefully this does go the right direction,
Hey, well, I disagree, but I appreciate the call. Definitely feel free to call in again another time with a different topic. But yeah, I'm going to take another caller. Hope you have a good night.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
All right, see ya. We got some calls tonight. Didn't know you're trying to call back. Oh, it wasn't you. It was somebody else that was calling back. Whoever texted me, it was somebody else that was doing the bad thing. You're good. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hello. How you doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
I was just calling to say keep up the good work with your show.
I appreciate it.
I did. I just try to dodge the crazy Republicans. They're going to say what they want to, but we all know those people are filthy and corrupt, period.
Yes, sir. We know it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the kind words. Hope you have a great night.
You too.
Thank you. Have a good one. How nice.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, this is the Politics Show. What's up?
Hey, I just joined not too long ago. What are we talking about? Like, what's the
We were
topic of
talking about
discussion?
Venezuela.
How do you feel about Venezuela?
I think there's no laws right now with what Trump does. He can do whatever he wants. They're bragging about it. They're making 6, 7 jokes. They think it's all funny. Trump was golfing when it happened. They set up a camp at Mar-a-Lago. They were watching on Twitter to find reactions for it. They're making jokes on social media about it. I feel like it's all a spectacle for much of it. They killed, I think, like 50 plus people confirmed so far. I don't know the exact number.
I thought it was like 40.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there.
So is
but
it
yeah.
the behavior that is more concerning you, or is it actually liberating Venezuela that you might not agree with?
Well, Venezuela is not liberated. The government's still in place.
Yeah, but the U.S. is going to take over that. That was already.
Well, I mean, the U.S. was going to take
After
over.
Saddam.
Was going to take over after Saddam. They were going to take over. They were going to establish a new government in Afghanistan, which was held up barely by all of our taxpayer dollars, and it collapsed instantly when we left. We were going to take over a bunch of countries that did not turn out well, right?
They have so much oil, we'd stay there for a little while. Wouldn't you
Yeah, I
think?
mean, we've heard that before. It did
leave.
not turn out very well. I mean, that usually does not go well in some regard,
It
unless
went
if you
pretty
think
well
it's
for
worth
us.
it.
I mean, our gas prices went down. Our gas prices will go down
From
now.
what? Our
From
gas
all the
prices went
oil
down
in
from what?
Venezuela.
That's not possible yet to bring our gas prices down. It just happened.
But no, it hasn't brought our gas prices down yet. I said it was going to bring our gas prices down. Hopefully, if they actually do what's right.
They already said they would
Would
sell
that
all of
not-
our oil.
would
They
you
would
say
sell all
that-
of their oil to us. They already said they would do that.
Yeah, well, it's way cheaper if we just have control of it.
We already operate out of Venezuela with Chevron. And also, when we talk about attacking Mexico, Colombia, Cuba, Venezuela, destabilizing these countries, how does that ever turn out good if we're going to launch a war on 4 different countries at the same time?
Well, I don't think we would launch a war on 4 different countries.
Okay,
at
how
the
are we
same
going to
time.
occupy Venezuela?
Is that like a question like you don't know, or is that a question
No, like, what is the method of it? Like boots on the ground?
Well, no, we have their we we have their president.
They have a president again already. The vice president, handpicked by Maduro, is currently in power. So how are we going to make sure we occupy them?
Yeah, we're literally just gonna do the same thing again. You know, we got
So we're
the
going to keep
president
on just
within,
like
40
toppling
minutes.
their leaders. Yeah, because they didn't put up any fight
Yeah.
against it. Maduro's
Yeah,
laughing his
their
ass
people
off right now.
obviously don't care. Their people are rejoicing.
Well, not
So,
really. There's no
I mean,
rejoicing
they're-
because they just had 40 plus die
Yeah,
and bombing overnight and a war that might be happening. There's
well, the 40 plus
there's
that
food
died
lines
weren't
right now.
necessarily innocent,
There's
but-
food lines right now in Venezuela. The party videos you're seeing all over social media, like shared by that one idiot, that Shirley guy
No,
from the
the
Minnesota
food
stuff.
lines have
That's
nothing to
from
do with
Miami and Chile. It's not even from
The food
Venezuela.
line- the food
They're
lines
not
have
partying.
nothing to do with us. That has
The government in
everything to do
Venezuela
with
has not changed. Nothing about Venezuelan power structure has changed except Maduro is not there anymore. Nothing has changed yet.
Well, yeah, of course not. I mean, we just did.
They're
all that,
not
like, what,
rejoicing.
yesterday.
They're not rejoicing. It's just acting like it's fun to be bombed, even if you are under a dictator. And Maduro's a really bad guy, but they're not rejoicing. Those videos are not from Venezuela. Those are bot accounts and videos from other places.
What? Maybe I don't know if we're talking about video. I'm talking about like actual boots on the ground interviews down in Venezuela.
Oh yeah, where?
Not like
Where can I
videos.
find those?
Not like the videos of the people dancing. The Venezuelan
Yeah.
news stations.
Okay,
Just search it
so
up. You'll find
so you
plenty of
don't think America is going to need to have any boots on the ground to occupy Venezuela, and to how are we going to make sure their elections are clean?
them. Oh no, we definitely will. But that.
Okay, so we're doing boots on the ground in Venezuela. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And what is
What
is
is
necessarily wrong with taking
what
over
was
Venezuela?
Venezuela's number one threat to American sovereignty that allowed the president to use military force in this manner?
Oh, they're not a threat to our sovereignty.
Well, that was the whole argument made by the Trump
Well, I wouldn't-
regime.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just they have a bunch of oil.
Well, no, the arguments were that fentanyl is a WMD. They send narco terrorists here.
They think China's sending fentanyl to Venezuela.
Well,
and
that's not the
Venezuela's
claim.
doing
That
it.
wasn't the claim that they
Fentanyl.
used.
No, well, that I said that that other guy that was in here earlier, and then I know they just labeled fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction, whatever. I don't care about all that.
Well, that's the military justification. The issue is when Trump is able to do like tariffs on countries, he does it anywhere. And now Trump in every interview is super happy and excited. And he's like, oh, we got to do this more often. It was so cool to watch on TV. It was amazing. It was like an action movie. He literally said all this on TV. So now he's looking at other countries in the region. Yeah, the Jeffrey Epstein dude. Yeah, I do know him, and I don't want the president. I don't want any president to be able to just do this without any authorization whatsoever. I don't want the president to be bombing countries like this. I don't want the president to be threatening Canada and Mexico and Greenland.
I think their oil will benefit us Americans quite a bit.
All right, yeah, we should go back into Afghanistan again too. Trump might want to do that too, but.
That one was a little different, but that's only because our president was incompetent at the time. And to be fair, yeah, Trump may be a little incompetent, but it's
Trump is
different
worse
this
mentally
time,
than Joe Biden
especially
by
with-
far.
I don't know about that one. Like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about like 2020 Joe
Mentally,
Biden?
no, right
2024
now,
Joe
right
Biden?
now, right now. Trump again.
Joe Biden right
Trump
now?
tells people. Trump tells people he's the only president to take IQ tests, and he aces it because he chooses the giraffe out of the picture of animals. He doesn't know it's a dementia test. He has no idea. He thinks that he said that Russia loves Ukraine and wants to support Ukraine, like that, dude. Biden has not said anything on that
He's
level.
on Russia's side.
Well, yeah.
It's not that he's dumb. He knows what he's doing.
Okay. Well, he's just evil. He's a traitor to America. Then there you go.
I don't. Yeah, maybe. But I think this Venezuela thing is pretty swell.
Okay. Are you a Nick Fuentes fan?
How did you know?
Because you talk like him, and you all talk like him.
Well, I don't sound like him.
You have an accent. I hear his accent in your voice. I can tell. And Venezuela happens to be the only foreign policy endeavor that Fuentes approves of from Trump, because he's against striking Iran for Israel.
Isn't he out right now?
I'm just saying. It's you sound like him. I don't know if you got to record yourself, but you have it. You have the end of your words is very
not the
Fuentes.
First time I've been told that.
Yeah, it's
no, but I just think it's not the worst thing in the world to start, showing these countries that are on the same side of the pond as us who's boss. I don't think that's a necessarily bad thing.
When there's a huge migrant crisis from all these countries, all right, and they all pile up at every border, what should we do to them?
Well, not really. I mean, we don't really have a border problem right now.
Well, do you think it was an issue? Oh, the border's solved. Do you think there was an issue with Trump sending those men to El Salvador to that torture camp?
Maybe torture camps weren't the right thing, but I'm definitely up for sending all of them out, the asylum seekers and all.
Well, the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 that it was illegal.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you sound like Nick Fuentes.
I think that we might need to reform some of our laws.
Oh, man.
The asylum seekers are too protected. I don't think the asylum seekers should be.
You know what? You should go up there. You should run on Hitler and Stalin are based, and you should get power and then change the laws.
No, I don't. Hey, I never said I think Hitler and Stalin are based.
Maybe you did, Nick Fuentes. I know who you are. I can smell you. You're gonna be talking about me mum next. That's all you people talk about. All right. Well, I appreciate the call.
All right. You
have a good night. Come around again sometime, man. Have a good night.
I'll keep watching. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Oh my goodness. Am I wrong? People in the chat, did you hear the Nick Fuentes accent in there? Did you guys hear that? I heard the Nick Fuentes. I heard it. I could sense it. Yeah, you couldn't hear it? Yeah, please donate to Joel Law Politics on Cash App and Venmo. Did something else happen? My friend just said, what the hell is happening? Did something new happen recently? Do I have to go on Twitter and check for something new? I haven't even finished the Trump speech yet. I haven't finished it yet. Did anything new happen? Breaking news? Yeah, all the propaganda videos about this so far from Nick Shirley and all these other dipshits and Alex Jones, they're from Chile, they're from Miami, they're from months ago. The new Operation Mockingbird. Yeah, they got the call. These are CIA agents. Okay, Nick Shirley and Alex Jones work for the intelligence agencies now, officially. Yeah, the actual scene in Venezuela are people in long lines waiting for food. They are stressed. Their country's being bombed. They don't know what's happening. But did something new happen? My friend said, what the hell's going on? Trump announced. Why is a meme of Maduro DJing? Is it on?
I don't understand.
Okay. Marshawn Lynch. Trending. You got a new Xbox. Congratulations, Kate. Okay, I think he just reacted to the news today. Yeah, there's Stranger Things. What a bad show. I don't even watch it. I watched the first season. Then it got too popular. I can't watch mainstream shows, obviously. Thank you for $5, L. Ellie, thank you.
What's up?
The sky.
Hello?
the sky's up, dude.
Yeah. What's up, man?
Oh, what's up, dude? Nothing much.
First off, I want to say Nick Fuentes, I think he's the biggest dork out there. And anybody that, like, supports him is just, I mean, give me a break. Anyways, but besides that, I think you're a dork, too. So it's all good.
Thank you.
Venezuela, let me ask you this. Do you know better than the Venezuela people? Because they're all celebrating.
They are not all celebrating.
They are. Before you say it's all like right-wing media, it's on CNN, it's on CBS, and they got them on ground celebrating.
Yeah, they can find people. Now, the thing about this operation is everybody, this is bipartisan. The neocons love it. The liberals love it.
I'm not talking about
Every
that. I'm
country
talking about
loves
the
it.
people of Venezuela.
No, but the image you're going to see are not the people whose family members were bombed last night. You're going to see people who are happy about it because Maduro's a bad guy. Yeah,
Also,
there's
yeah, of
opposition
course.
in Venezuela. No, there's opposition in Venezuela. But when it comes to America and us occupying that country, there is zero reason to believe anything is going to be any better for anybody in Venezuela. There's no reason to believe that.
Well, I mean, okay, that's easy for you to say in America, but the people in Venezuela has been under this dictatorship for, a decade now.
They've been under a
and they're
bunch of
pretty happy.
dictatorships. Yeah.
Yeah, they went down.
Maduro's a bad
socialist
guy.
path, of course, that's what happened.
Maduro's a bad guy. Hey, Maduro was very anti-gay. He was very anti-trans. He was very anti-DEI. Like, Maduro's very right-wing.
Oh well, that's just so funny. You guys keep playing that stupid thing. Like, you think Trump?
Oh wait,
is,
dispute the facts. Dispute the
anti-gay?
facts. Dispute the facts about Maduro.
That's fine. I agree. He was a horrible person, but you should be celebrating.
No, but he believes in right-wing politics, right? He's
That's not right-wing
anti.
politics.
He's
That's why
anti.
you guys-
Okay.
That's why you guys will never win again, because that's not right-wing politics. The right wing don't hate gays anymore.
No.
That's
Okay.
That's
I'm
old
just
school.
saying he's anti-trans. He's anti-gay. He's anti-DEI. Okay, he's anti-DEI and anti-trans, right? You agree with that?
Sorry. Yeah. All right. So you're pro-trans. That's your problem. I mean,
DEI. I'm pro-DEI.
I don't get it.
I'm pro-DEI. Everybody should be included.
Well, okay.
Everybody.
Why-
But Maduro, when
if
it
you're
comes
qualified,
to
yeah, if you're
Venezuela,
qualified, you should be
Maduro
included.
is bad boy.
Shouldn't it become
He's a bad guy.
qualified? Shouldn't it become merits?
Maduro's a
Shouldn't it be a merit-based society?
Maduro's a bad guy. We should not be invading sovereign countries and bombing
But
them.
you sound like you're like bummed out. That's what I don't understand about liberals. Is like
No,
when Trump does something
listen.
good, you guys,
Hey,
like,
slow
try
your
to
brain down for 2
make-
seconds.
like-
Okay. Us
go
bombing
ahead.
sovereign countries, especially with no authorization from Congress, in dumb ways is not good for America. Is
How
not
is
good
it
for other
dumb ways?
countries.
Any
It's
other
not good for
president,
America,
it
not
would
good for
either
other
not
countries.
do anything or would drag us into a 10-year-long war. This guy has done 2 strikes.
Trump has
mean,
commit our military to be there for as long as they're needed on the ground. Okay, Trump is
Oh,
already
that's
committed to
not
that.
true.
We don't know
That's
how long.
not true.
Trump just said it in the press conference. We're watching it right now. He said
Make
it.
it
Yeah.
I mean, whatever, dude. I mean, it sounds like
Whatever, dude. I don't like fact. Whatever, dude. Oh, he might have said it.
I don't
Whatever,
think
dude.
that's a bad thing. Why is that a
Okay,
bad
there you go.
thing?
Now you're
Please
pro
tell me
boots
why
on the
it's
ground.
bad
Now you're pro long regime change wars, just like Tulsi is. Tulsi Gabbard
I
also
didn't say
lied.
that. Did I say that? Are we in a war right now?
I don't know. I guess not. I guess it's a military operation or a military whatever,
Yeah,
just like
that's what I'm
military, just
saying.
like Israel and Russia
It's
do.
always like worst case scenario, but you're not looking at the facts. The fact is, there's a strike. We got the president. He's in our custody. He's going to go to the justice system and face trial.
Yeah, we're trying
Why
him
is
for
that a bad
having
thing?
guns, for guns and cocaine. We're trying him for nothing to do with
And drug
America.
trafficking and sending in the
What kind of drug? What kind of
CIA,
drug? Wait, what kind of drug?
all kinds of drugs.
No, what kind of drug are we? No, we're charging him for cocaine. Nothing in the 25 pages about Maduro being charged is with fentanyl
Once
at all
again,
because they lied about it, right?
Do you hear yourself? Once
Yeah,
again, you always
you don't know the
siding with
facts.
the bad
Yeah,
guy.
you can read it. You can read it. You did not read the
It's so
25 pages.
funny.
No, the fentanyl does not come from. I'm just saying
So is
the
he a good
administration
guy?
lies to
Was he a
you.
good
You
guy?
should not trust the administration's lies.
Was
We should
he
know
a
the
good
facts
guy?
about it. So cocaine. He's
Was
being
he a
charged for
good guy
cocaine.
then?
He's being charged for. No, Maduro's
So
really
was
bad.
he a good guy or a
Maduro,
bad
no,
guy?
Maduro's bad. I can answer questions. See, Maduro's a bad guy.
So what should we not done this, or was it a good thing?
Should we
That he done it?
should we
No-
go
no
should we
American
kidnap
citizens
Vladimir
are good.
Putin? Should we kidnap Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping?
I think if we kidnapped Vladimir Putin, you guys would find a way to say that was a bad thing, even though.
Do you think we
for the
should?
last
Do you
4
think we
years, you
should?
guys
Hey,
were saying how
answer
bad
the question. Be a man and answer the question. Don't just like deflect it.
No,
Answer
I
the
don't
question.
think-
Should we
I
go
don't
do
think
this with
Russia-
Vladimir Putin?
I don't think Russia's the enemy.
Okay, then you're okay. I can't. It's ableist to talk to you.
Well, because I have a different opinion.
No, because you're stupid.
How is my
If you
stupid?
think Russia is not an enemy to America, when Russia has funded terrorist groups that have slain dozens and dozens of American soldiers, and Russia is one of our biggest adversaries, and Russia hacks our systems
Why
more
is
than
that-
almost any other country,
Russia-
along with China. Like if you think they're not an enemy to America, you're
Oh my
dumb.
gosh. Russia can't beat Ukraine, who it's been what 3 years.
It's not
they
just
can't
about
beat this,
Ukraine. It's not
small
just about
little-
Ukraine.
small little country. I mean, I don't see Russia as a threat. You might see as them a big bad enemy because you believe the media and you think they're the like trying to take over America and all that bullshit from like the 1980s.
Wait,
Cold
are
War.
they
I don't-
are they not an enemy or
China
not a
is our
threat? So
number-
they are an enemy.
China's our
Here's not a
number
threat.
one.
So they
China's our number one.
Who do you
enemy.
think works with China? Who do you think is helping China right now? What drones is
Yeah,
Russia
yeah.
using? So Iran and Russia are using drones from Iran and China, right? Russia uses drones from Iran and China.
All these people are bad, but why are we focusing on Russia so much? I don't understand.
Why are we focusing on
Why are
Maduro
we
so
doing
much?
that?
Russia's a bigger enemy than Maduro is to
Because
America.
they're in our hemisphere, they're on our they're
Who
right
cares?
down
Russia
south.
Russia has much more
They-
capability to harm
thousands and
America.
Thousands of people
Russia is in
died
a much
through
better
drugs,
position to harm
Human
America.
trafficking, them sending their criminals over the border.
Yeah, and Trump
which has
pardons
been
all of
proven
them.
by our
Trump gives them
intelligence.
pardons if they pay him off, just like the former Honduras president.
No,
Trump loves pardoning drug kingpins, right? He pardoned them, right? Why did Trump pardon the Honduras president who brought 500 tons of cocaine into America?
I don't know. Didn't he just like endorse a Honduran president and he won in the landslide?
No, why did Trump pardon
So why is all
the
these
former
people in
Honduras
these countries
president?
siding
Can you
with
answer a
Trump,
question?
but
You
then
see
you
how these
aren't?
Trump supporters
I don't
cannot
get
answer
it.
a question. Do you see how Trump supporters cannot answer a question?
Oh, I'm just answering. Go ahead. It's just so boring because it's always the same thing. Trump's so bad. Trump's this,
Why did
Trump's
no?
that.
I asked you. I did not say Trump bad. I said why did Trump pardon the Honduras president who bragged about
I'm
stuffing
sure he
cocaine in the noses of Americans? 500 tons of
Because
cocaine
I'm
into
sure
America.
There's
Drug trafficker.
There's always a reason for the madness. I'm sure he's going to
See,
get something
the
out
issue
of it.
is I'm not just saying Trump bad. I have actual criticisms. You're just saying Trump good because you're a D sucker, because you're a cuck. You say Trump good no matter
I
what.
can say-
I'm giving
I can
actual
say-
criticisms.
I can say some things. I can say some things that I disagree with what they've done. I
Okay.
think he's focused a little bit too heavy on overseas problems and not as much as what's going on in our country. Especially
He focuses
with, like,
on
prices
what
and
has he
everything.
done good for America, other than what has he done good?
Well, we'll do very small micro things like gas is. You can see that gas prices is down. I mean, and you can.
The president
say,
doesn't do
poo-poo
shit about
that's
that.
Fine. Yeah, that he does. That's so funny.
president-
how when Trump's president, the gas is always down.
No,
but when
every
Biden's
president. No, for
it's
every
up
president,
high.
for Biden or Trump or
No,
Obama, the
no.
gas prices are not controlled by the president. They're controlled by
Okay,
private
whatever,
markets,
dude. See,
unless
that's
if there's
the
a massive
thing.
war.
Once again, so you say I
Respond to
can't
the points I just made.
criticize
Respond to the
Trump.
points I
If you
made.
give
Don't
him any
don't
credit-
cry. You're crying. You're crying. You're crying again. Respond to the points.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. You can't respond to the point. What did I say?
Why
What did I say to you?
gas prices are down is why
What did I
gas
say to you?
prices are down is very easy. It's because he lets businesses and we drill and they let them
Wait,
drill,
when
and he
was
also
the
has
no?
good
Okay,
relationships
when was the
with
number
Middle East.
one year for American oil drilling in American history? What year? It's 2020. It's 2023. It's 2023 under Biden. 3 years into Biden. 2023 was our top
because-
energy independence for like 100 years.
Let me ask you this: what was prices at that time? Gas prices at that time?
Hi.
They were They were higher than.
Yeah,
ever
we were
before,
drilling more than ever before.
Probably
So why?
So
Do you know why?
no,
Do
no,
you know
that's
how
why he
oil markets
started
work?
drilling.
Do you know how oil
No,
markets work?
Nope, you're wrong.
No, you don't know how
there. You're
anything
wrong
works.
there. He started drilling it because prices are so high and the election was coming up.
Oh, so they're
he
cheaper
went
now
back-
because Biden drilled it. So Trump's cheap gas prices are
No,
because
no.
Biden actually drilled all the oil. I
He-
get it. Okay, so
he
Biden drilled all the oil.
Okay, you
Okay.
know I'm right and you're wrong, but that's fine.
You can look up the
Everyone
numbers.
knows that
Anybody
when
can look up
Trump-
the numbers. Oh, everyone knows. Look up the
everyone
actual
knows
numbers. I have numbers. You have a bunch of
Gas
bullshit.
prices are down. It's right there. You can see it. Everyone knows. Your audience can see it.
You
It's
can't
fine.
bring up anything
They
the
know you're
president has
lying.
actually done. You don't know one policy at all,
All right,
that any
first
president
off,
has done.
Well, all right. What about the peace deal with Gaza and Israel? Is that just you're gonna poo-poo that too? I'm sure.
Israel has killed like over 100 people, including a 10-year-old, an 11-year-old, and like a 3-year-old since the ceasefire. It's not a peace deal. There's still a huge war going on there. It's a fake peace deal.
CNN, all these liberals.
Those are the numbers of
uh,
people that
saying
died.
that the peace rules are
No, it's not the
going on,
liberals.
and
These are the people that died.
This guy.
It's not
says
just the
it's not going
liberals.
on. Okay.
It's not just the
Okay.
liberals. There's not. It's a fake peace
No, the
deal. They're
liberals-
still bombing.
See,
There's still
I think CNN would be
killings happening right
backing them
now.
if the peace deal was not going on.
There is no
I think
peace deal.
MSNBC was okay.
CNN is
Only
not that
you
against
think that,
Trump. I'm sorry, but these corporate news stations are not that against Trump. They love the ratings. They're not mad at Trump. They
only
don't care that
you-
much.
Only you know it.
No, actually,
only
it's just
you
from
know
reporting
all
of people dying. It's just not. You just don't like numbers. You're shadowboxing numbers. You just
No,
numbers
I mean,
scare
I just
you.
see that, I just see that there's like this little small thing of YouTube channels popping up just criticizing Trump, and it's just so funny.
Yeah, it offends you because he's your daddy. He's your uncle. He's your daddy. He's a family
No,
member to you.
I think it's funny.
Since the ceasefire took effect, Israelis have killed at least 415 Palestinians and injured over 1,000. So, like the ceasefire, so over 400 Palestinians are dead since the ceasefire.
Source?
Okay, here,
You have
let's
your
look at
source
the
on that?
sources. Do you have any sources? I'm right. Do you have any sources? Look it up. Any source will tell you.
It's probably
Every source.
Palestine
Every
or-
source. Every source.
Okay, well, all right. Anyways,
Anybody can Google it. Anybody can Google it. Anybody can.
Okay. Okay. Well, I like the no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime too, which I've seen personally benefit me. I also seen that the drug prices that he dropped. I can't tell you exactly what it was an executive order.
Those
It
drug
lowered it in
prices
favor
were
of
done
Asians.
through Joe Biden's law,
And
the
before
Inflation
you
Reduction
poo-poo
Act.
that's funny.
I'm not poo-pooing it. No, listen to the facts.
My own mother is on these has high prescription costs. She's on
Okay,
Medicare.
so when Congress does
And her
something,
drug prices
yeah,
has
yeah,
been cut in
Medicare,
half.
yeah, because of Joe Biden.
So okay.
You don't know how the government works.
this
So
just
how
happened.
does the executive branch? How did Trump lower those prices? Through what law? What law allowed him to lower those prices?
It was an executive order. I'm not saying it was law. I don't know.
Okay, so how the government works is the president makes executive orders, and those orders can be informative on how the executive branch should be following a law and carrying out the executing of that law. So the law that Trump made an executive order for was already in motion, okay, called the Inflation Reduction Act, and Biden started to negotiate Medicare drug prices. So when Trump talks about Ozempic and a bunch of other drugs, that was done by Joe Biden, and Trump's taking credit for it.
It was COPD medicine.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
but
There's a
it's
bunch of
funny
them.
how they had
There's a
that,
few of them.
thing. So
Ozempic's
like
just
3
one of
weeks
them.
Before, so 3 weeks after that press conference, we see because I went and we talked to their doctor, and she got her prescription cut in half by.
Yeah, but Biden is the
Medicare.
reason that happened. It was done under Biden. Trump is taking credit for it. I'm just saying facts.
So
If you're afraid of facts, it's fine. But
So president a year and a half later, or ago, the president a year and a half ago gets the credit from what happened a year and a half from now.
yeah,
After
when the
president
actual
that
law
is
was signed by
happening
Biden,
now,
yeah.
He signed. Okay. Well, it wasn't signed by anything. It was executive.
It was
order.
okay. So again, you have laws from Congress. Congress passes a law. So the law was called the Inflation Reduction Act.
Yes, I've heard. Yes, I get
And when a law is signed, the president can make an executive order and say, here's how we're going to follow this law. So all Trump did is there were scheduled drugs to be reduced with Medicare negotiating drug prices down from the Inflation Reduction Act from Joe Biden's admin. All Trump did was make an executive order to put his name on it, on the policy already done by Joe Biden. Anybody can look it up, the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022.
All right. So why wasn't it like? So you're saying Trump just he was more competent about like getting it done.
No, he just put his name on something that was already done. Just like right now, he's putting his name on inflation, the bipartisan infrastructure bill that Biden got passed as well. Trump's putting his name on those projects now, and Republicans that voted against it are putting their names on bridges and roads that are being built in their states, even though they voted against it. And Joe Biden did that policy too for infrastructure.
Thing for you, or do you think Trump really is like this racist, like hates gays and everything? Because he's like the most pro-gay, like Republican president ever. I mean, you can't say he's really racist. I mean, you can if you want, sure.
He called all Somalis garbage people.
They kind of are.
Well, you're racist too. If you think all Somalis are garbage people, you're racist too. You think all Somalis are garbage people? What if I say all whites are garbage people? Are all whites garbage people?
Depending on what kind of white people you're talking about. Like white trash? Sure, yes, I would say that. But like, how can you
even
say, like,
that
Somalians,
is bad? But it's still a categorization of people. That's you can say a trope or something.
About it. We can just be human about it.
So you think all Somalis are trash?
Obviously, Somalia is a crappy country. Can we agree about that?
We bomb Somalia every other day. Somalia has been used as a military base for a bunch of different global. No, not just America. The Soviets as well. In that area during the Cold War, we have, and also Reagan as well. You don't like facts. Right? You don't know facts about anything. Okay, I can tell you the facts about it, but your brain is too small. You can't absorb it. So this is just a fact. No, you don't have a brain at all. You can't read. Okay, let me tell you the facts about it really quick. So Reagan helped prop up a dictatorship in Somalia as well. So during the Cold War, Somalia was passed between the Soviet Union and United States of America. And through that, a bunch of complicated stuff happened. The Soviets went more towards Ethiopia and influenced there. America took more of Somalia. And then Reagan helped to prop up a dictator there as well. Somalia has always been a battleground for these types of things. So the past 50 or 60 years, even right now, we still bomb Somalia, and there's an area called Somaliland, which Israel and America want to carve land out as well, near Somalia. So we talk about that influence. It's just a factual thing. Now we're talking about the people who come from Somalia. So the Somalis in America, when Trump calls them all garbage, it's racism because he calls them all garbage. He calls them all garbage, not criminals. He calls every Somali garbage.
Is there any bad countries in the world?
Respond to my arguments.
No, there's nothing.
You can't respond to my argument. You can't respond to my arguments. You can't respond. No, I did not say it's all America's problem. I said that when it comes to the country of Somalia, it's not because of people who live there and people that come to America. And Somali Americans or Somali immigrants in America, it's not their fault that their country is not in the best condition right now. So even if it was someone's fault, calling all Somalis garbage people and vicious, violent criminals, for no reason is racism.
Jeez, man, that is whatever, dude. I mean, I guess you're right. That is, you should not. I'm sure there's some there's sure out of the millions of people in Somalia, I'm sure there's some good people, and they get trapped in a crappy country with a crappy system. I totally agree with that. But at the end of the day, it's still a crappy country full of people with bad morals, bad culture. And before you say, "Oh, bullcrap," it's a great whatever. You wouldn't want to live there. You wouldn't want to be around these people. I mean, we all know that.
You can't respond to the words I say.
Before you say it's all CIA.
You can't respond. I didn't say CIA. So in America right now, in Minnesota right now, when Trump says everybody in Minnesota who's a Somali immigrant. Every time Trump says, well, you can't respond to any of the questions. There is no battle. You have to win from fleeing from the battle. You're winning by fleeing. So when it comes to Somalis in Minnesota, when Trump says they are all garbage people and violent criminals, how does that make you feel?
They're all great. They're all great and wonderful people. How many are they? How many of the people out of the percentage are great people? All of them?
When Trump says all of them are garbage people, when he says all these Somalis are garbage people,
I don't take everything
you agree that's
Trump
racist.
Says
the classic defense. You can't. You don't have any brain, bro.
Gosh,
you're a cuck.
Can you tell me what percentage of them are good people?
I can't take any. Donald Trump just says things. Donald Trump just says things, dude. I can't respond to it. He just says things, dude.
No, he says things that make people
Trump just says things. He just says things. I can't trust anything he says. I could say things. I can't say things. I can't say things. Yeah, your amazing arguments. Okay, what's your argument?
This is a horrible argument for you.
What's your argument?
This is a horrible argument.
What's my argument? What's my argument?
that we got to protect the Somalis or like this perfectly awesome people that never do anything wrong. That isn't.
No, I never
full of
said
fraud
that.
and
I said
corruption.
that saying an entire group is a garbage people, an entire group is inherently racist, or you're being, you're
Can we talk
categorizing an
about the
entire group
actual
as bad.
fraud and then corruption and the society?
Yeah, I would love to
that
talk
they
about
come
fraud and
from,
corruption,
the
but you
country
people
that's
talk about
awful,
Somalis
and
being
why we
garbage.
should.
The president pardons criminals.
Garbage people. Look at the country.
The president pardons criminals, and he attacks all Somalis. Okay, he pardons white collar criminals every single
Somalia's a
day.
great place.
He defends Jeffrey
we
Epstein.
agree
You
that
can't stay on one
Somalia's a great
topic.
place,
You can't stay on
wonderful
topic.
country. It's a
Somali
wonderful country
Americans,
full of
Somali
wonderful
Americans, Somali Americans right now. Trump calls them all garbage people.
that came over here in the
Meanwhile,
last
he
decade,
pardons. Meanwhile, he pardons white collar criminals who bring cocaine, drugs, and child abusers into America. He is friends with them. So it's not about the crime. He does not care about corruption. He cares about hating Somalis.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you have okay. Repeat my argument back to me. What am I saying?
Seems like there's a lot of corruption that's going on.
Repeat my argument back to me. Can you repeat my argument back to me?
You just said Trump only does good. Like he protects the white collar criminals that sell cocaine and traffic children.
True.
All that bull crap.
Well, it's true. He pardons them. He pardons them.
But then
Ghislaine Maxwell plays
you
with puppies now.
the actual human trafficking in the Somali country, the actual children, like
I care about America. I care about America. I care about America. No, actually, no. These are Americans. I'm happy to have them as Americans.
Like the Somalian country
No, the
flag,
Minnesota flag, you dipshit.
Okay
the Minnesota flag, you're so dumb. Can you Google what the Minnesota flag means? Do you people need to live as idiots all the time? The flag is shaped to show the shape of Minnesota as a state and the waterfront of Minnesota and the northern guiding light or the star.
Like
it was made by, because you're a dipshit, because
right?
you're stupid. Of course it looks like you're 12. Of course it looks like the Somali flag to you because you're stupid. A white guy in rural Minnesota made that flag. It wasn't even a Somali. Somalis make up around like 0.8% of the population of Minnesota. No, you're just stupid. It's not a coincidence. You're dumb.
Heavily vote liberal and vote.
No, you probably huff a lot of paint. You're a paint huffer. You have no idea what's going on.
And you're a liberal that thinks everyone's great and fun.
Can you respond? Listen to what I just said. Okay, what is the flag designed after? What is the flag I designed after? No, I talked to all groups of people, including you, which is still ableist. Now, okay, repeat what I said back about the flag. Repeat what I said back about the flag. Repeat about the flag. Repeat it. Can you do it?
Please like me.
Can you do it? Can you repeat back to me what I said?
I got it.
Yeah, of course you do. Okay.
Have a good day.
Goodbye, bitch.
Bye, bub.
Nice. See, this is what the MAGA brain does. You attempt to have real conversations, and liberals have issues. But and liberals might be offended by things, but bro, I would rather liberals cry about pronouns than MAGA cry about just like having to talk about basic facts, bro. Like the fact they have emotional dipshit little baby bitch meltdowns every time you talk about like, hey, can you stay on one topic and just like just respond to what I'm saying? They can't do it. They have just such a big meltdown. But it just shows. It just shows. I'll take one more call for tonight, guys. Thank you for watching. $5 from Sri. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sri, for $5. Thank you so much. Thank you. Final call for tonight.
Hey, Joel.
Howdy, what's up?
Hey, man, ready for your first sober caller tonight?
I don't. Yeah, I think everybody's just drinking too much. It's late on Saturday, so.
I think they got the fentanyl delivery. They got the last one.
Yeah, they've been huffing crushed up Tylenol. Too much. Their mamas took too much Tylenol, dude. They came out. Just like Trump said.
You need to keep your blood thin so that you don't get any problems.
Yeah, well, Trump said the Tylenol causes the autism. So lots of them got that problem.
You want to go back to Venezuela?
I guess so, if you want. You're my final caller for tonight, so.
All right, man. Well, I guess the first thing is like everybody has like a publicly stated reason and then the real reason, and it's quite obvious that it was a nice cover story for a build-up to bring in more and more assets and position and say, we're just going after the drugs. And this looks like maybe it was a playbook that had been started, and we're reaching a climax hopefully with last night. But there are a lot of drugs coming out of Venezuela, and one thing you had said earlier was that there was no evidence it was marijuana, but Dominican Republic has actually ramped up their anti-drug enforcement, and they've intercepted like thousands of tons of drugs, maybe not thousands of tons, but thousands of pounds. And they've found cocaine in the wreckage of some of the
my claim is that these boats that we destroyed, many of them were not heading for America. Many of them could not make it to America if they wanted to. If they had drugs, it was marijuana and cocaine. There was zero evidence whatsoever of fentanyl. And even if there was, calling fentanyl a WMD and saying a drug dealer bringing drugs to America means they have killed millions of Americans it's low IQ to begin with. It's low IQ to say if you bring drugs somewhere, you killed people because they took the drug. That's low IQ. And if we're going to have that standard for blowing them up, we should blow up the Sackler family and Purdue Pharma with the opioid epidemic. But these white collar criminals will never get the same attention. But it's all illegal is a big thing. We just killed random people with no due process, not military targets, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I'll agree with you on that. There was an ulterior motive with going for drug boats. You wouldn't pardon the former president of Honduras if you were just solely after the drugs. So you wouldn't pardon like Ross Ulbricht or running Silk Road if you were like purely anti-drug. So there's got to be something else going on there. That's probably a good segue, but it's very clearly that we're in like a proxy war. Some of the other callers touched on it with they said our hemisphere, as if we own the hemisphere, but it is really about removing someone who is cozying up to our enemies or potential threats, as you guys were talking about it, in our region. So, within striking distance. And so you said a couple things about there were no threats to the U.S., but they do have Russian weapon systems. They do have bombers that are able to reach D.C. You wouldn't even need to fly out of the Caribbean to be able to make a strike on Washington, D.C. With the stuff that's already there, like we know it's on the ground. We're watching them load these drug boats in high def from outer space. We know exactly what they have there. So there are weapons like the Tupolev or whatever it is. I'm not a War Thunder guy. Like I don't know all the actual names of all the shit, but they do have stuff that could reach U.S. mainland without even flying, out of their own airspace. And if they flew, they wouldn't need to leave the Caribbean to hit, half of mainland U.S.
Yeah. A big topic here will be about Venezuela and American intervention. And it seems like Maduro just kind of went along with it. I don't think he was ever going to be very resistant to being tried or anything like that. And we pardon people like him all the time, with Trump at least, with the former Honduras president and everything. I just don't believe. I don't believe this administration has any good. I don't think they're pro-American interest whatsoever. I think they're pretty much up to the highest bidder, whether it's Qatar or Israel or Russia or China. Trump has taken huge amounts of money from all these countries through his crypto, his World Liberty Financial, his Trump Towers. He's been using tariffs to get more crypto investors to give him money directly, to allow his sons to build Trump Towers in their countries like Syria and Venezuela and and Qatar and whatever else. I don't believe anything they do could be in the interest of America. So the neocon argument, and this is a very neocon thing to do. And neocons love this. Even never Trump Republicans, who are very anti-Trump, love him doing this because they would do it. And Dick Cheney would be. Dick Cheney is real happy right now. Wherever he is after dying, in his grave. He's super happy. Yeah, like he's like, oh yeah, I never thought Trump was going to be. Trump Dick Cheney ran against Trump, but I don't know. Dick Cheney might have endorsed him after this, which is funny because Trump ran saying the Democrats were going to be like the Cheneys, but Trump's top advisors were also Cheney advisors, and now he's being Dick Cheney 2.0. But yeah, your argument is the neocon argument that we should be going and getting influence here, going into these countries, so-called liberating them. So therefore we have a foothold there. And it's kind of like another Monroe doctrine, which Trump calls the Donroe doctrine because everything is stupid now, where we reject China's presence and Russia's presence in these areas. But it makes no sense because killing USAID was a huge goal of Russia and China. They are very happy about that. We have given up developing parts of Africa, of places like Guatemala, places in the Middle East, all over the world that we were developing soft power with. And now we dish that completely for pure hard power, which is very outdated. And China is an expert on soft power. They're not perfect, but they're really good at soft power. And I just think this is a domination thing for Trump. For Rubio, it might be ideological. Maybe some oil is probably a minor feature of it, but it's definitely a feature of it. And what you said about just like the neocons feel that we should be occupying all these areas of the world, make it a military base for us. So it's not a military base for another world power. That's also the mentality with Israel. Other than the Christian nationalism and Christian Zionism, that's a big reason why Israel is such a vocal point for both political parties.
So you said, like, we're talking out both sides of our mouth here because you said it's an occupation or boots on the ground, but I've watched the whole call tonight. You said that the vice president of Venezuela is still in power.
Yeah.
All of the infrastructure is still in power. So you say, like, simultaneously we have occupation and regime change, but also no regime change. Really, it's more like somebody ordered a Maduro on Amazon Prime, and now he's here, like, overnight. Boom.
So far, and he's cracking jokes right now. So it's really hard to tell what's going on.
I don't think he'd be here with as little lives lost if he hadn't capitulated.
I think he would have ran away if he was worried. I think he'd be in Russia right now if he was worried. He'd be in another country.
Yeah. So there's more to it. We'll see more come out of it, but I don't think anyone knows the full picture right now. But we're obviously not doing an occupation like the old way of, or at least like it's not that case now because, as you said, everybody got in the helicopters and they took off. They didn't sit and stay around and, set up shop. They took Maduro, took his wife, and we bounced. Like it doesn't appear that we're doing like the old way that the neocons used to operate, where, the prolonged, extended conflict, long military industrial complex contracts, where the protractedness of it was a feature to extract money from taxpayers. That doesn't seem to be the case. We've spent the least amount of money and least amount of lives in any kind of scenario like what we have witnessed last night. So now
it's hard to say, man. Kind of every strike we do on these boats is like $5 million a pop. It's a lot of money. The thing I was going to bring up as a comparison to this, George H.W. Bush in 1989 used similar justification that Trump's using now to invade Panama. That was a big post Cold War era push. And I believe drugs were part of the argument, but obviously Panama is important for the canal. So America, we invaded Panama, and in the invasion we killed a couple hundred what are they called again? Panamanians or whatever. I think it's
I'd say Panamanian.
We killed like 500. So it's a pretty similar setup to what George H.W. Bush said, which is interesting for the MAGA base as well. Because Trump came in saying, we should train a firing squad on Liz Cheney's face so she knows how it feels to be in the fire, to be in front of the gun. And now Trump is like the most pro-war president since Bush.
That's a mistaken snippet. The idea was he didn't say put her in a firing squad. He said like basically put her in a scenario where she would have rifles pointed at her in a actual war scenario. You can look up the
Okay,
whole,
but
quote of it.
that was
I know
all
what you mean
it was
now.
all a lie. It was all a lie.
Yeah.
And when he said that, people said to me, he really cares about making that point. So even if it might sound violent and it's violent rhetoric, which I would think leads to the climate that we had an assassination this year or last year that was really crazy. With Trump's rhetoric going, it's always crazy. He refuses to ever turn down the temperature. It's funny to see many MAGA that were very against this saying like, yeah, I guess regime change is actually kind of cool. Like even Nick Fuentes and these far right, the more far right people are pro this, which is really interesting. And by the way, I am getting tired, so I'm losing my train of thought. So I'm not going to go that much longer, but I'll let you respond.
No worries, man. I tried all night. I'm sorry you had to deal with some of the other guys. Like that one guy was clearly getting served at the bar and everything.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Let me summarize a few things. So one thing is Maduro was not recognized as the legitimate president of Venezuela by a large number of countries. I won't list them all, but pretty much the entire European Union.
Yeah. France put out a
US,
statement very pro getting
UK,
Maduro out of there. Yeah, UK,
Japan,
all those different countries are very pro getting him out, getting him out. Yeah.
The one that his opposition in that election is currently in exile in Spain or something like that. So he could possibly be, the woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize supports or is part of that guy's administration or infrastructure. So,
and Trump threw her under the bus.
Down the pipeline.
Trump says she's not the one today. Kind of funny.
Oh, well, she's not the one, but she supports the guy who ran against Maduro.
Yeah, sure.
So he might be the guy. There's a reason that she got the Peace Prize, but so I'm glad you acknowledge that. So he may not be a legit president or head of state. It puts everybody on blast. Like, hey, here's a head of state narco-terrorist. All you regular non-head of state narco-terrorists better be on your best behavior from now on. In the last 10 years, 20 years maybe, Venezuela's lost like 20% of its population under the remainder of Chavez's term, and Maduro is obviously not doing a great job. Obviously, sanctions have some effects on that, but 8 million people leave your country. You're not really doing a good job. And then I guess the last thing I would say is, the war on drugs is when you equate it to WMDs, I think that you were a little bit dismissive of that. The amount of people that we lose to overdoses alone is like a Vietnam War every year, and we were at something like 70,000 fentanyl deaths a year. And just this first, I know I'm looking at your chat and people are like, it's not about drugs. It's obviously about oil and China, but the war on drugs is legitimate and it can be diminished. We were losing about a Vietnam War a year, and
but we should be bombing McDonald's then. We should bomb McDonald's.
We should bomb McDonald's?
Yeah, absolutely. With like heart disease and obesity and just heart disease in general with high sodium content, high sugar content from fast food restaurants in America is by far our number one cause of death in America. And alcohol kills far more people than any other drug in America does. Alcohol is a huge killer in America. So is gambling. So are all these things. Do you think addiction is a disease then?
The other night you said ban guns, but why do we were talking about rifles. Rifles are only 4% of homicides. So why not ban handguns?
Well, it'd be comparative versus other countries that have fewer gun deaths and much lower violent crime rates without rifles. And even in America, higher guns means higher murders and higher crime is going to happen. Like any area in America, higher guns is going to correlate that with that per capita in most areas of America, at least. Like Alaska has an extremely high homicide rate with gun. And that's supposed to be the place where guns keep you honest or whatever they use as a tagline. Do you think addiction is a disease?
Addiction? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
like
that's at least
of your motivation.
Yeah, and that's more consistent than most Republicans would be, because the idea that giving drugs to a country is the same as directly killing people. When they have to take the drug, they need to keep on taking the drug. They need to Maybe it's laced in marijuana or something or cocaine, so it's not their fault necessarily. I don't really blame anybody for overdosing, but Republicans my entire life have fought my ass on all these issues when I say addiction is a disease. So it's really interesting to see them rolling out this argument now and nobody questioning it. But I think people know what it is. It's just a justification.
Yeah.
And
well, they haven't
yeah.
had an honest conversation or done the research. Like when you've encountered somebody who's at least formed an opinion through research and disagreement and discourse versus just like tribalist team mentality.
Yeah. I just don't think calling it a WMD or calling them narco terrorists, all that is an excuse to do illegal things. Even the reform leader of the UK, is that Farage now? He said he's happy Maduro's out of power, but this was definitely illegal, very illegal, and bad for the world order when it comes to rules-based world order. So you can have those two opinions. Like this is extremely illegal. The administration is very incompetent. The administration's actions, especially with the concentration camp in El Salvador and that kind of stuff, is enough to put them in prison. In my opinion, they should be behind bars for that. But also Maduro is obviously a bad guy. No one's defending Maduro at all for anything.
Yeah, like he likely won't be missed. But I mean, we're on a precedent where we haven't shut down. It's like whataboutism, but I'm going to go there. We've done military action in Syria, Somalia, Yemen, Pakistan, Libya, Iraq. I don't know, like all of those under Biden or Obama, and nobody pumped the brakes on that, or at least they didn't put their foot down and stop this. So we are like I agree with you that maybe we should be curtailing the president's power in this regard, but the precedent has already been broken. Like the precedent of just
but the left criticized
unilateral
that.
action is already
The right wing did not really criticize that because they would have done the same. And Obama in the Middle East with these groups that were pretty well known, or at least well agreed to be terrorist groups, the use of force authorization that was still available did target groups in that region. So it was a stretch of that. But the thing is, like, that was still a stretch, and people did protest that and said it was bad. But then Trump, when they call them narco terrorists, coming from that's why WMD and narco terrorists were used as legal justifications. Obama's were questionable, but this is laughable. This is like Bush had to lie. He tried lying to the UN. He tried getting them on board with his Iraq and Afghanistan. Obama made justifications for what he did, what authorization would allow that. Congress could have checked it. Congress did take a couple votes, but right now Republicans are refusing to even vote on it. And this is like, it's not even like, they're not even making arguments at this point. It's just like, yeah, dude. I mean, there's some oil there. I mean, WMD is fentanyl. Ooh, we gotta blow these boats up. Haha. We're gonna make fun of it with a video with with a Leonard Skinner song behind it, and yeah, rock on, bro. We killed some more Venezuelans in the boats. Yeah, woohoo! It's like they made a 6-7 joke in the press conference. They call it the Don Road doctrine. It's just all so dumb. They were like, Trump was golfing at Mar-a-Lago when this was happening. They set up a little situation room at Mar-a-Lago, and he said it was like a TV, like a action film. It was so exciting to watch, and he wants to do it again, like sounding like a dictator king kid or whatever. Like, I just, even if you're pro this, do you see with all those factors why I think no matter what, even if I was a neocon, I would not be confident, even if I liked which I don't like this, but even if I did.
Getting memes from like official White House Twitter is like, it's a little too idiocracy for me. But I have to say that we don't know what the results will be long term. If he did this without a loss of American life, I don't think that it compares to those more drawn out, more costly, longer engagements that we've gotten into before. So I think that
we'll
it's too early
see
to tell, but there's absolutely deception, and they're operating under a guise of we just brought a whole fucking carrier fleet to deal with some like drug boats with some outboards. Like that's not that obviously wasn't the case. You could go back to October and the very first strike, and you could start to see that was just an excuse to start to.
Yeah, the final thing I'll say, and definitely call in again another night for another topic. Appreciate your call. We're a year in. We're less than a year in, and Trump has bombed Iran. He's talking about doing it again, this time to stop their missile capabilities, not nukes, just their missile capabilities. He talked about possible boots on the ground to monitor Iran and to monitor Hamas and to monitor all these different places. And he's already bombed Venezuela, killed 40 plus people or 50 plus people, whatever the number is now. He is threatening Colombia and Cuba and Mexico. I think we're 1 year in. The idea he bombs drug cartels in Mexico without permission from Mexico is, I think it might happen. The idea that all these countries become destabilized and there's a massive migrant crisis all throughout the 50 states or the 10 countries south of our border. It just seems like there's too many dominoes in place that are going to be falling. I think something bad's going to, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a huge migrant crisis. I don't know if he's going to actually try to take Greenland. He might try to do it before the end of the presidency, but we're less than a year in and there's some crazy shit happening. And the Epstein file stuff, today was the day where the Justice Department had to justify their redactions. And I can't find any news about it, and there's no attention on it.
The headlines are buried now. So
yeah, and that might be a function of this. They might just bomb a new country whenever the Epstein file story comes up. They might just bomb a new country. Like it's possible. But yeah, I appreciate the call. I'll give you the final word on that.
Yeah, well, I don't think I think we covered pretty much everything that I wanted to say. I think Greenland is on the table. It's strategically important if you're going to try to build a missile defense system to protect North America explicitly from Russia. Most everything is going to come over the pole. We got deep water ports there, Space Force is there, uranium is there, rare earths are there. China was making inroads, building infrastructure. They had a number of contracts. They were the largest owner of the uranium mine, the main mine that they were operating there. They built a number of airports, or planned. They may have been canceled. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's a game of politics. And they don't control the media completely, so you have to muddy the waters with what the topic is. And most people are stupid, man. We talked about this before. Most people don't even know what the three branches of government are. So it doesn't take much to keep everyone out of understanding what's going on.
That last guy trying to explain how laws function versus it's not like they care, but it's whatever.
I mean, they're tribalists. It's no different than rooting for your team on the weekend, where my team scored a touchdown today. That's how
I like LeBron. I like Jordan.
Yeah. So we'll see, but I think that your show, when you're not bogged down with guys who are just in their feelings or obviously on some kind of substance, is pretty good. I feel like you debate in earnest, and you've created a really good Discord. It's probably one of the best places I've ever found for chatting with people.
Anybody in Discord right now, take the applause, take the kind words. Look at that. Best Discord on the internet. Anybody should join Discord too. I'm not on there much anymore. I'll be on there. This is my second day back streaming. I was off over a month almost. So join Discord in my description. If you need the link, some of the mods will drop it. But I appreciate that.
Yeah. I just wanted to compliment your mods too. They really run a good
look at that.
And it's been fair to me, even though I'm a little bit of a troll, and I obviously disagree with you on a lot of stuff, but people do a good job, and it's one of the better places. People come with too much animosity, and you have some bad takes, but everybody does. That's what having a polite conversation is about. So if we don't do that, we're all going to end up like Charlie Kirk or worse. So, but on that note, thanks for taking my call. It's hard as hell to get in. You got a lot of people ringing you. So good times, man.
Yeah, appreciate the call. Hope you have a good night, man.
Good night.
All right, peace. All right. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you have a good night. Drop likes, comment, subscribe. Thank you, Sri. Thank you, Sri and Ellie thank you for the donations of $5 on Venmo, Jola Politics on Venmo and Cash App. The current goal is $100 to pay for my yearly Canva subscription to make thumbnails. My yearly Canva subscription. Yeah, thank you for the $5 each of you. Thank you for liking. Thank you for all that stuff. Someone said too pussy to call me. You just didn't try hard enough, guys. I don't know. James, whatever your name is. Sorry. Maybe next time, buddy. 137 likes. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. That was pretty good. I just have a lot of people calling sometimes. And like tonight, there were 10 people calling in. And 10 people calling in is hard enough to get in because, I mean, the chances are still pretty low. But imagine I have 30 people calling in that night. One time I had like 50 people calling in, trying to call in. So out of 50 people, you know, you might not get picked every time, guys. You might not get picked. I'm sorry. But if you want extended conversations, go in the Discord. All right. All right, have a good night, guys. I gotta go over the Trump, Fox, and Friends. I'll do that tomorrow, though, to start the stream. Yeah, it goes to voicemail when I'm on a call or when I'm not taking a call. So I'm not gonna pick up a phone right now because I'm getting off. But if I want to take calls, I have it open, or I'll call you back. I'll call you if I see I have a missed call. If I miss a call, I'll call you back. If I don't have the phone lines open, I could still see your phone number. Or you can text the phone number. You can text the phone number and let me know you want to call in, and that might help your chances too sometimes. All right, thank you. Have a good night. Play Fortnite. Shut up. We're so back. 2 days in a row. We did 2 days in a row. Let's try to make it 3. Let's make it 3 days.